Yes, you can. 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 Top it. Ready for Cardi. Me on the button. Cover my body. Spring eyes. Burgers. Cardi on the eyes. Gaga. Yes, you can. 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 Live with Globe this morning, man. Hit the motherfucking like button on your way in. Let's go. Every day I go shopping. I bought 500 closets. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yeah. I ain't made no bank run. Got the black card in my wallet. I got bands. I got span. Richard span. Yeah. Ball like a caterpillar when it comes to a crush. Oh, yeah, I do. I got extended bankroll, the reason she loves, that's what it do. I keep it loyal with the gang, they know everything a nigga do. I had to bought a moose, same with me and my lady that came in two. Big bag riding my ride, ain't tell a lot of my tribe. I took that lid out of beans, that look like a jet ski when it glide. I keep the same old roster, I don't got new guys. I eat the same old skirt steak, STK with some fries. Oh, you mention that money, you're lying. Oh, I had mixed up love since child. Oh, I ain't let a nigga take my stride. Let a nigga take my style. I ain't let a nigga take my life. Yes, you can. 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 Draped up in gold, draped up in diamonds. I took the chubby, ran off with the prize, and I took the Betty and put it on the bison. Took out the races and put her beside it. I paid my taxes, even though I like it. Pink bubble gum season, her first crying. Three stripes and DMC, and I'm retiring. I can go, will it be, even though I'm alive? Yes, you can. 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 Hot topic. Drink it, Cardi. Me on the solid. Grab my body. Spring eyes. Burgers. Cardi on the eyes. Gaga. Yes, you can. 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 Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. What's going on, everybody? Rocking with your boy Globe. Happy motherfucking Father's Day to all the real fathers out there. Happy Father's Day to the single mothers out there. Happy Father's Day to the single grandmothers. Happy Father's Day to the uncles taking care of, their sister or their brother's kids for whatever reason. Happy Father's Day to everybody in the building, rocking with your boy Globe. It is a very, 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 very beautiful start to this morning. Y'all know me, I like to get up early and get rolling. Just want to keep things going, keep the channel updated and fresh. I told y'all we'll be alive a lot during the Summer Madness. We had Summer Madness yesterday. Part 2 of Summer Madness went down yesterday. We did the city yesterday. We did the Bronx Zoo, what's it called, the Bronx Zoo? We did the Bronx Zoo, and we rode around the city for a little bit, and then we went to City Island. Went and had some seafood on City Island. I like City Island. Only thing I have to do with City Island is I really love City Island because it's very affordable. If you don't know where City Island, it's a island outside of the Bronx.
and it's a really dope island, really good time, really decent food, and really good drinks, and very affordable. So if you live in the Northeast and you're looking for a nice weekend, great for friends, great for families, great for date night, great for anything. It's not too much to do there besides just walk around, sit by the water, eat some great seafood, and just chill out. But it's a really good time. It's very affordable. It's really dope. Only thing is, man, the seafood is not seasoned the way you would want it. The fried food is amazing. Their fried seafood is to die for, and they are not stingy on portions. They give you a lot for the price that you get it for. The drinks are really good, so it's a really good time. I really like it. I just have to remember anytime we're going there, which it wasn't planned, but I got to keep for the summer. I got to keep a thing of Obey in the car, so we can put Obey seasoning on our seafood. But again, very enjoyable day. Like I said, summer madness continuing until we get ready for Thailand, man. So again, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, to everybody that's a real father. One thing about me is, I've been in my kids' life ever since they came out. You know what I mean? So, there's not many times I could count on my hands that I was not in my kid's life. There's some moments where, you know, my oldest daughter and my son, there's a moment where I was gone for about 45, 50 days from them. That was the longest stretch that I had never been around them or seen them or had them. And then now it's just, new adjustments, new distances and things like that. But I'm not a big fan of people that, you can have all the fun in the world and then your kids don't get to have any fun. I'm totally against that. I travel the world. I do everything that I want to do, and I work hard to do it. But my kids got to have fun too. My kids got to go on vacation. My kids got to have. If I got new shoes, my kids got to have new shoes. If I got, you know what I mean? Like I believe, I take a lot more vacations than they do, and my vacations are a lot more extravagant and a lot more expensive. But still, when it comes time for their time, which is this block right now, or when I carve out time during the holidays, whether it be my no travel during the holiday policy, just because I don't like pulling money away from the holidays. I'd hate to get to Christmas and be like, damn, I can't afford to get my son this, and then and look back 2 months ago or a month ago, I was just in fucking, Colombia or wherever fucking off. Like, I try to make sure that it's as close to even as it can possibly get. So I commend anyone else that does that. I commend, there's a lot of people that in my circle that I commend that, I commend my nigga 2-1, man. You know what I mean? Salute to my nigga 2-1, man. That motherfucker, he take his daughter on vacation. I'll bring her with me. You know what I mean? So, salute to him. That's just one person that I always knew that always makes sure that, while he has his fun, his, child, daughter, whatever, gets to have the same amount of fun. And that's kind of how I am. You know what I mean? And I see a couple other people do the same things, from what we see. You know what I mean? We can only go off of what we see. So if I go off of what I see, so yeah, salute to my Wild Boy brothers. All my Wild Boy brothers, try to make sure their kids have the same amount of fun. But that was just a special shout out to my guy 2-1, because he's the one person in the space that I know has, has taken his daughter to, all over the world, man, and made sure she gets to travel as well. Now, I always admired that. I always respected him for that. Like that, that's dope, man. That's real dope. I'm too much of a wild boy to do anything like that. To take my kids on a vacation like that, like I would have to take them somewhere more controlled. I couldn't take them to like a place where I can wild out. I have to be more in control, because then I might get too much alcohol in me and get too sloppy. And and then I got them with me, and I'm more of a defensive person when my kids are with me. I'm more in a defensive mode, not with them, but with like when we're in public. I'm in a very defensive mode. I'm more watching what they're doing and what they got going on. Delta One, what's good, my brother? Appreciate you getting up early with me. Are we just up early, chilling? Just trying to keep the channel active and keep things going. Let me post the Kick link in the chat as well. 1 second while I go out and come in. Hold on 1 second.